history elective elective B, Indian culture and heritage. Fifth lesson, Vedic culture and Brahmin tradition. The main objectives in this chapter is the understanding of Vedic culture, the expansion of Vedic, the geographical expansion of Vedic culture, and the impact of Vedic culture on history, and the importance of literary culture, and then religious and cultural importance. The Indian history started with the Vedic civilization before the 1921, before the Surgeon Marshall started the excavation. The first lesson in history starts from Aryan culture before 1921. After 1921, when the archaeologists started excavation and what they found in that civilization, the Indian culture pushed back to 1000 years back, from 2000 BCE to 3000 BCE. So that is Indus Valley civilization. Now we are discussing about the Vedic culture. The Aryans came from outside of India. Different historians opined different opinions. Anyway, they started their traveling from 2000 and they settled in 1500 BCE in the place of Sapta Sindhu. The meaning of Sapta Sindhu is Sindhu and its tributaries. They wrote and they made some slokas. They compiled the Rigvedic slokas in Sanskrit language. They belong to Indo-European race. They spoke Indo-European languages because of they started their traveling from Europe and they went to Persia, Central Asia. Finally, they reached to India. The word Arya is related to language, but not race. They spoke Indo-European languages like Greek, Latin, Gothic, Celtic, Persia, and Sanskrit. So the Sanskrit, some historians, some linguistics felt that the language, the Sanskrit language is the sister of European languages, but some opined that the Sanskrit is the mother of all European language according to the linguists. So what is their origin place? Where they expanded? But they came from Russia steppe area, opined by some persons. Balagangadhar Tilak opined that they came from Arctic. So Arctic Veda of home of Vedas opined that Arctic is the home of Vedas. So they belong to native people. Some opined that they belong to India. According to L.D. Kalla, the Aryans' birthplace is Kashmir Himalayas. And they are not entering into India. Their home place is India by LD Kalla. So their birthplace, their living place also India. Ganganath Jew opined that their birthplace is Sapta Sindhu or Brahmarshi Desha, because of it is the holy places of rishis. Brahmarshi means the holy places of rishis, ascetics, uh, rishis. So it is India. So anyway, LT Kalla, Ganganath Jew opined that their is India. Then D.S. Trivedi opined that Multan means Multan Pakistan, in the on the river bank of Devika was their birthplace. But according to European scholars, they are from the birthplace of the living area of Aryans was Baltic Sea area. Where is Baltic Sea? It is in Russia. But Balagangadhar Tilak opined that Arctic. So they are came from ice area, snow area. So they became the devote of fire, Agni. The important rivers during the Vedic period, the Rigvedic slokas, how many hymns in Rigveda? 1028 slokas. The Rigveda slokas mentioned that the Aryans living between the rivers of Yamuna and Satluj, and some felt that they are above the Saraswati river area. It is the Yamuna, Satluj, and Saraswati river area is the center of Aryan culture. And the Rigvedic writers, those who wrote 1028 slokas, they know about the Himalayas and they have knowledge about the Himalayas, but they don't know about the Yamuna river. So they spread in Himalayas area, but not in Yamuna river area. It is during the period of Rigvedic. What is the Rigvedic period? The Rigvedic period started from 1500 to 1000 BCE. From 1000 BCE to 600 BCE, later Vedic period. The and they also know about the knowledge of Vindhya mountains, but they did not mention about the Vindhya mountains. So their settlement area was Sapta Sindhu. Sapta Sindhu means Sindhu river and its tributaries. Sindhu is a main river and its tributaries like Saraswati. The ancient name of Saraswati was Gaggar, then Jeelam, Chenab, Ravi, Bias, Satluj. Okay, the seven rivers. So they settled at first in the river area of Sapta Sindhu, and they also mentioned old or ancient Persian inscription Sindhu or Hindu. Okay, Hindu became Hindustan by the Muslim historians. Now discuss about the mountains. According to their context, according to Aryan context, they know about the Himalaya mountains. The Aryans know about the Himalaya mountains, but they don't know about the Vindhya Satpura mountains. Because of they spread in the area of Himalayas, but they are not spread to Vindhya Satpura. What is the importance of Vindhya Satpura mountains? The Vindhya Satpura mountains located in the middle of India. The Vindhya Satpura mountains divided India into two parts, North India and South India. So, what are the most important mountains? Archika, Muchavans mountains are also located, and then Vedas, the Vedic literature. The Vedic literature consisted of four Vedas, Vedangas, four Vedas, Vedangas, Rigvedic 1028 slokas, hymns. It was the Rigveda was the oldest world text, religious text. It is also first text of the human being. It was compiled, 1700 BCE. In this Rigveda, 1028 hymns written by the scholars. Among these, the women scholars also there, Apala, Vishavara, Lopamudra, and it is mostly compiled by the priest family, and the Rigveda Purusha Sukta 10th mandal describe about the Varna system of the Brahmins originated from the mouth of the Creator or Brahma. The Kshatriyas were born from shoulders, the Vaishyas were born from the knee, and the Sudras were born from the feet. The Samaveda, it was originated from the root word of Sama. It was a melodious. The priests like Udgati coded the Samaveda. It was singing on the occasion of Soma sacrifice, like Ashwamedha, Rajasuya sacrifice. During the period of Soma sacrifice, they sing a Samaveda. Yasurvana Veda related to the rituals. How many kinds of rituals? 18 kinds of Sodasha sacraments, Sodasha rituals, and also mentioned about the different sacrifices like Rajasuya, Ashwamedha, Vajapeya sacrifices, and that also mentioned about the traditions during the period of rituals, and the Atharvana Veda also very important because it was discipline, and they believed that the beliefs and superstitions. It describes about the beliefs and superstitions. How many Vedas? Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Atharveda, and Samaveda. Samaveda deals with the music during the period of sacrifices and rituals. The Upavedas. How many Upavedas? The Upavedas like Shilpa Veda, Gandharva Veda, Dhanurveda, and Ayurveda. Ayurveda deals with the medicine, herbs. Dhanurveda, it is related with archery. It is the art of warfare. The Gandharva Veda related to music. The Silpa Veda related to architecture. So, four Upavedas. How the four Vedas and Upavedas also mentioned in Vedic literature, they were the Dhanurveda, Ayurveda, Gandharveda, and Silpaveda. What about the later Vedic literacy? The later Vedic Rigveda only during the period of Rigveda they coded Rigveda between 1500 to 1000. After 1000, the new period entered, which is called later Vedic period. They coded three books: Samaveda, Yajurveda, Atharva Veda, and also some parts of Vedas, Brahmanikas, Aranyakas, Upanishads, Brahmanas, Vedas. uh, these are the conservative, which is written in prose. Prose. It also mentioned with the rituals. The Aranyakas related with the these are the forest laws. What the person should do in his third stage. What are how many stages? Varnasrama dharmas, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasam, Brahmacharya, which is called forest laws. The Aranyakas are forest laws. Particularly these books taught in the forest which was written by the ascetics for the students. These are the Aranyakas are the last part of Brahmanikas. They believed philosophical principles, not only philosophical principles, and also philosophy, and they gave importance to, they gave not only importance to sacrifices, but also they not only gave importance to sacrifices, but also rituals, but also meditation, and it also express, and it also gave importance to ethical and morality. The word Upanishads, the word Upanishad derived from the root word of Upanish. The word Upanishad derived from the root word Upanish. Ante to sit. What is the meaning of to sit near the teacher and they learnt something from the teacher? It is ultimate. Right. The Upanishads, these are the philosophical works, and the students sit before the teacher and they are requested to teach teacher to learn something about the study. Totally, the Upanishads are 108. These are these are compiled by the these are compiled by the scholars, and they used scientific 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 Sanskrit. but not Vedic Sanskrit. The Upanishads were written, scientific Sanskrit language, but not Vedic Sanskrit. The allied literature, Smriti and Shruti. Smriti literature and Shruti literature. Smriti means memory, and later the Vedangas. How many Vedangas? 6 Vedangas. What are the important Vedangas? Siksha. Siksha means phonetics. Kalpa. Kalpa means rituals. How many rituals? Shodasha rituals. 16 rituals from birth to death, which is called Kalpa. Then Siksha and Vyakarana means grammar. Nirukta, the root word, how the word war emerged, which is called Nirukta, etymology. Chandas, which is called meters. Jyotishya means astronomy. These are the Vedangas. What are the Vedic literature? 4 Vedas, 6 Vedangas, 4 Upanishads, Aranyakas, Brahmanikas, Upanishads. These are all called Vedic literature. The Shruti literature and the Smriti literature. Shruti means listening, and Smriti means remembering. The Shruti and Darshanas. How many Darshanas? Shad Darshanas. What about the Shad Darshanas? Nyaya, which was compiled by Gautama. Vaisheshika by Kanada. Sankhya by Kapila. Yoga by Patanjali. Purva Mimamsa by Jaimini. Uttara Mimamsa by Badarayana. These are the Shad Darshanas. Nyaya Darshana, Vaisheshika Darshana, Sankhya Darshana, Yoga Darshana, Purva Mimamsa, and Uttara Mimamsa. How many Puranas? Puranas also explained about the history and culture of India, particularly the Vayu Purana, Vishnu Purana, Matsya Purana. These explained about the particular, for example, according to Puranas, the Satavahanas are Andhras, but according to their inscription, they were Satavahanas. Puranas gave the history of India up to Gupta period. So these are 18 Ashtadasha Puranas. These are the Ashtadasha Puranas. What are the contribution of Vedas, the Vedic culture to Indian society? The Vedic period gave the rituals from birth to death of Shodasha Samskaras, Shodasha sacraments. What are the important? Pumsavanam, Simantopanayanam, Chudakaranam, Antyeshti. These are the rituals, and also explain about the sacrifices, like Vedic sacrifices, Ashwamedha sacrifice, Rajasuya sacrifice, Vajpaya sacrifices. And also, it also led to the sacrifices led to the development of science and development of the medicine. What are the parts of animal these animal parts compared to human body. So what is art and art function? What is the liver and its function compared to human life with sacrifices? With sacrifices, they performed sacrifices. In North India, during the 6th century BC, the political field also changed and the religious field also changed. Like Sodasha Mahajanapadas formed in 6th century, Anga, Magadha, Vatsa, Vachi, Avanti, Gandhara, Cambodia. Like in the field of religion, 62 religions emerged in India. Among that, the memorable religions are Jainism and Buddhism. And also the Lokayita, Charvaka, Lokayita or Charvaka, the Ajivaka religion also existed, but lack of people support the Ajivaka and Charvaka religion declined, and their preachers also very weak, their principles also very bad. So the two religions not existed in India, but finally the Jainism and Buddhism became famous in India because of the founders of the religion was very strict and they have some moral and ethics. The Veda word is derived from Sanskrit root word. The English word Veda derived from the Sanskrit root word with VAD, which means to know and knowledge, to know about something, and also knowledge. Veda means knowledge. Vedas are the treasure of knowledge. But after that, the Jainism founder Vardhamana Mahavira criticized the Vedas. There is no standards in Vedas. It is in a Latin word, the Veda word as vidire, which means to look. These are the direct teaching. It is changed from one generation to another generation. There is no writing, only the listening and memory. So this literature was direct face-to-face discussion of rishis and the students. The rishi said something to the student, and later, and they learned, and later they became also teachers. This is direct teaching. Direct teaching. It is changed from one generation to another generation. So here we mentioned two words. One is Shruti and another is Spruti. What is Shruti? Shruti means listening. And what is Spruti? The remembering. They are remembered and later, nowadays, we are a lot of instruments to write the books, to write the notebooks. But during those days, there is no. Only the students listen and memorizing their chapters. And late the language culture. When the Aryans came to India, the Sanskrit language also came to India. They spoke Sanskrit language. They wrote their books in Sanskrit language. The Vedas, the Vedangas, the Shruti literature, the Smriti literature, the Samhitas, Aranyakas, Brahmanikas, Upanishad, these all wrote in Sanskrit language. They developed these from these Sanskrit language, the Indo-European languages developed. What are the Indo-European languages? The Indian, North Indians speaking languages, Bhojpuri, Gujarati, Rajasthani. These are the Indo-Aryans. The Aryans speak their languages in India is called Indo-European languages. What are the Indo-European languages? Greek, Latin, Gothic, Celtic, Germany, Persia, Sanskrit. But in India, they spoke particularly the North Indian languages. The North Indian languages are Indo-Aryan languages. What about the South Indian languages? The South Indian languages are called Dravidian languages. Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayali is called. So they developed the Indo-Aryan languages. They used Sanskrit in every literature like Vedas, Vedangas, Upanishads, Aranyakas, Brahmanikas, Ramayana and Mahabharata. The Itihasas like Ramayana and Mahabharata, these are the ideal books. The ideal books are also wrote in Sanskrit language. So they gave gift to the India is the Sanskrit language. That is the Aryans' gift to India. The inscriptions also written in Sanskrit language. What was the first Sanskrit language? Rudra Damana Junagadh inscription of 150 CE in Sanskrit language. Some inscriptions in Prakrit language, Pali language, Ardhamagadi language, Sanskrit language, and Telugu language. It was the first Sanskrit inscription in India was Junagadh inscription in 150 CE. The first Sanskrit inscription in South India was Yehuvala, the Ikshvaku king. The Ikshvaku third king, Yehuvala Shantamula, wrote in Sanskrit language. The first and second ruler of Ikshvaku dynasty wrote in Prakrit language, but he changed to Sanskrit language. What about the literature? What about the literature? Kautilya Arthashastra was written in Sanskrit language. Kalahana, he was very famous. The history of Kashmir kings, his work, Rajatarangani, it is also written in Sanskrit language. And the Kalidas writings. What are the writings of Kalidas? Raghuvamsham, Kumara Sambhavam, Vikram Urvashiyam, Abhigyan Sakuntalam, Meghadoot. These are all, Sanskrit language. Okay. What about the race? The, Aryans, their life, their settlement started with different races like Yadu, Turvasha, Puru, Bharata, and Kuru. So different races, and they fought among themselves, which is called 10 Kings Battle, Dasharaja Yuddham on the river bank of Ravi. So they are also different races. They also gave Sanskrit literature. The inscriptions also wrote in Sanskrit language. They developed the Sanskrit language in India. The religious culture. What about the they were not a Nastikas. They are Astikas. The Rigvedic people and later Vedic people believed the God. The Indian people gave importance to idol worship. Idol worship. And they also follow theism. They believed 33,000 of gods, not a single god. But Bhakti movement preached about the monotheism, Rama or Krishna Bhakti. But here, polytheism, theos means God, poly means multi. So they believed 33,000 goddesses. The depressed and suppressed classes people also believed the Indian tradition and Indian customs, and they also followed the Hindu tradition or Vedic tradition. The Varna system emerged. The Varna system originated in Rigvedic period. Rigvedic period. From the Varna system, number of traditions, number of customs changed. The Buddhism, the Hinduism, the Jainism, the Sikhism originated in India, which is considered as Hindu religion. The Vedic Aryans, Vedic Aryans were the great devotees of nature, like sky, like thunder, like rain, like water. So they were the devotees of nature, rain god, the wind god, and Zeus, like sky god, and thunder, and the gods like Agni, Mitra, Indra, and Varna. Indra gave the rains, and he was also rain. The cultural, the traditional culture, the Rigveda Pushasukta 10th mandal describe about the Varna system. It was originated from the Brahma's physical parts. Okay. During those days, the head of the family was the father. Nowadays also, they are following the same system. The head of the family was the father, and they felt that the birth of girl child is the misery, cause for the misery. So they prefer the birth of male child, not girl child, and they gave respect and guests. Atiti Devo Bhava. The caption also very famous. The most important guests were during Vedic period were guests. Atiti Devo Bhava. Teacher was the important person. The king also important person. Uncle also important person. Okay. It is what is the interest thing of the cleanliness. They gave importance to purification or cleanliness. That is their hobby. The Aryans were the war lovers, but the Rigvedic peoples were the peace lovers. How the Rigvedic people were peace lovers, the Aryans were the war lovers. The all traditions in India originated from the caste system. All traditions and customs originated from Varnashrama system. Since the Rigvedic period, the traditions followed by all Hindu communities followed the traditions and customs from the Rigvedic period. The Jains, the other religions also followed the Hindu religion and Hindu traditions and customs also. What about the technological culture? Okay, the Vedic people gave the great gift to the world was the technology. They encouraged the mathematics, astronomy, medicine. The mathematics well developed during the period of that time. It was calculation. What is the meaning of mathematics? Ganita. Ganita means calculation. And they used sacrificial fire altars, yajna platforms. So that is also with the measurements or calculation. How many meters long, how many meters wide, and how many meters depth. These are all made with the calculations. The Indian astronomy developed later period of Guptas by the mathematics developed by Aryabhatta, Varahamira, Brahmagupta also developed. The most important person, the most important Caesarean was Susruta. He started the operation, and they also used it to eye operations. Charaka was very famous, Ayurvedic. He wrote Charaka Samhita. He wrote Charaka Samhita of medicine book. It is very famous for and herbs. The Ayurvedic also well developed. And what about the fire altars? Fire altars, the coins, the ornaments, the pots, and also metallurgical work developed during their period. The next chapter goes to Bhakti movement, Bhakti and Sufi movement. These are the important chapters. Bhakti and Sufi movement. Number of changes took place in medieval India, 10th century CE. The Bhakti movement and Sufi movement started, and they played important role. These are the Reformation movements, Hinduism and Islam. What are the mistakes done by our previous rulers? Why they followed the casteism in Hindu religion? Why the Dalits are not entered into temples? Why not took place the social equality? So against these superstitions, evil practices, the Bhakti movement started in India. It was a Reformation movement. The Bhakti and Sufi movements were the Reformation movement. Samskarana. The Jainism and Buddhism. Whatever the Jainism and Buddhism, Jainism and Buddhism fought against the Vedic religion, Vedic religious traditions and customs. The Bhakti movement also Reformation movement, and it fought against the rituals. They fought against the authority of rituals. The rituals dominated. The devotionalism, the concept of bhakti is very old. The IVC people also devotees of Lord Pashupati and Mother Goddess. So the concept of bhakti is very ancient. The Jainism also came to existence in 6th century BC. The Buddhism also came to existence in 6th century BC. The preachers of the Bhakti movement were the Ramananda, Chaitanya, Kabir, Guru Nanak, Vallabhacharya, Mirabai. Okay. What is the complete devotion to the God, or complete devotion, or complete love on the God? This is the philosophy of Bhakti movement, and they are against the prolonged rituals and most expensive sacrifices. It is a evil practice. Why they are putting more expenses on sacrifices and rituals? So the bhakti preachers fought against the unnecessary expenditure during the performance of the rituals. It gave, what is the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita? The Bhagavad Gita mentioned the Indian philosophy or Hindu philosophy. What is that? Monotheism. Mono means single, theos means God. Only you have to believe single God, and the attainment of salvation can attain with very easy way. It is also very flexible bhakti. Okay, and then gradually, what about only the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita also mentioned about single God, and you can attain the easy way of salvation. The Brahmin traditions, the superstitions, the caste system, and the belief on the God, they were chained with these all things. What is that? The Brahmin tradition, the superstitions, the caste system, belief on the God, and different class people devotes of different gods. Shaivism, that is one branch. Vaishnavism, that is one branch. Jainism, in branches in Jainism also. What are the branches in Jainism? Svetambaras and Digambaras. What are the branches in Buddhism? Enayana and Mahayana. What are the branches in Shaivism? Kalamuka, Kapalika, Pasupata, Aradhya. So, and Shankaracharya. What was the philosophy of Shankaracharya? Advaita philosophy. What about the philosophy of Ramanujacharya? Visishtadvaita philosophy. So, Visishtadvaita philosophy. Madhvacharya preached the Dvaita philosophy. Dvaita philosophy in South India, the Islam, with the impact of Islam, he also preached that. What about the bhakti, karma, yoga, jnana? Jnana means knowledge, karma, yoga. How the person can attain to salvation? How the person can reach the God with the principles of karma principle, yoga principle, jnana principle. What is the attainment is the last stage of human life. After some time, the bhakti, the idea of bhakti declined. The idea of bhakti declined, and the origin of Islam and the expansion of Islam. The Islam is the new religion. The founder of the Islam was Muhammad Pravakta. How it expanded, the monotheism, the brotherhood nature also developed. The Islamic tradition, the Islamic devotionalism, the idea of monotheism, the idea of monotheism, the idea of brotherhood nature impacted the Hindu religion. So finally, the Hindus also availed by the Islamic reform. So the Hindu Renaissance or the Hindu Reformation not origin from the Hinduism. It is from the all religions. It is from the all religions. And Islam suppressed the Hindus, and they have religious bigots, not religious tolerance. The Islam religion are religious bigotism, not a religious tolerance. So they wanted to purify the Hindu religion. What are the evil practices in Hinduism, like caste system? This is very bad. The Bhakti preachers preached their teachings with dedication. They are belong to the Bhakti preachers belong to middle class and pure people, and they have good knowledge about the superstitions and evil practices during those days. And they were the Bhakti preachers like Ramananda, Kabir, Guru Nanak, Chaitanya, Vallabhacharya. They are came from downtrodden people, and they are came from middle to poor people, and they have good knowledge about the society and religious conditions, and the bhakti, the idea of bhakti started in South India from 12th century. The Shaiva Nainars, the Vaishnava Alvars, the Jains, the Buddhists, they against the Bhakti preachers of 12th century opposed the Shaiva. Shaiva, Nayanars, Vaishnava, Alvars, and Gautam Buddha, Vardhamana Mahavira preachings. And they, how the man attained to salvation, it expressed that through the bhakti. Bhakti is the main instrument to reach the God, to attain the salvation. So, the bhakti preachers gave importance to local languages. The bhakti preachers opposed the rigidity of caste system. They opposed the rigidity of caste system. They deadly opposed the caste system. So they used the vernacular languages. So the vernacular languages developed. The vernacular languages literature. They wrote books, vernacular languages means local language like Telugu, Kannada, Maratha, Gujarati. These languages, not national language. So they expressed the bhakti through the vernacular languages. Who were the bhakti preachers? The Kabir and Guru Nanak. There is no relation with bhakti. The bhakti movement in North India, the devotees of the incarnation of Vishnu were Rama and Krishna. They were the devotees of Rama and Krishna. These are the incarnation of Vishnu. Either you have to devote either Rama or Krishna. And the bhakti preachers describe about the childhood of Krishna and his love with milkmaids at Gokulam. These are the 15th century saints preachings are the main background of the bhakti movement. Rama bhakti, Krishna bhakti. Krishna's childhood is love with Radha and milkmaids. So it is the poets expressed the human values and they also emotions. They wanted to Ramanujacharya, and so they expressed the love and beautiful. So the bhakti preachers reduced the rigidity in the caste. They reduced the rigidity in the caste system. In the caste system, then Ramanujacharya. What about Ramanujacharya? What he preached? The medieval period, Bhakti leader was Ramanujacharya. He preached the Visishtadvaita philosophy. What he preached? The Visishtadvaita philosophy. The Visishtadvaita philosophy. Shankaracharya preached Advaita. Madhvacharya preached Dvaita. So this is one type of philosophy. Oh, Ramanujacharya, he came from Tamil. He was inspired by the Bhakti saints of Vaishnavism, like Alvars. How many Alvars? 12 Alvars. And he is trying to remove the Shankaracharya's Advaita philosophy. What about, what about Advaita? God was formless. The Advaita preached that the God is formless, and he also encouraged the Ramanujacharya, encouraged the good qualities of God. God. And he gave importance to the bhakti of God. Okay, right. Right.